Hello everyone, and welcome to this presentation on the 1851 England jurisdictions map. This map can be found at the URL shown here, or you can just Google Historical Maps Family Search. This map was developed several years ago by a team of genealogy consultants on the British floor at the Family History Library. Because it is based on old technology, some of the features may not always work. From what I understand, it has to be updated occasionally. Before we look at the map, here are some things you need to know. Firstly, this map is interactive and is invaluable for anyone doing research in England. It was based on the jurisdictions in 1851. 1851 was a significant year because it was the year of the second general census taken in England, but it is the first census that recorded people's birthplaces. It is also based on the pre-1974 historic counties. In 1974, there was a county realignment, and some of the historic counties, such as Rutland, Huntingdonshire, and Westmoreland, were absorbed or changed. Originally, the base map was an Ordnance Survey map, but it is now superimposed on Google Maps. Secondly, frequently the terms England, Great Britain, British Isles, and United Kingdom are used synonymously. It is important to point out that the 1851 England jurisdictions map covers England only, although there is some very limited functionality for Wales. Scotland and Northern Ireland are not included, neither are the Channel Islands, Jersey and Guernsey, or the Isle of Man. The Isle of Wight is included, as it is part of England. Lastly, before searching the map, you must know where your family came from in England. Just the name of a town is not enough. Let's say you found a document in the United States that says your ancestor came from a place called Linton. Let's go to the map and put in Linton. You will notice on the left-hand side there is a section that says Search. This is where you will start to use the map. The map's default search is for a parish and county. As we click on Search for Linton, you can see that there are 14 occurrences of Linton dotted all over England. So which Linton did your family come from? Not only do you need the town, village, or parish, but also the county where your family were from. Let's go to the third Linton listed here, which is found in Cambridgeshire. You can click on the name link in the search result box, or you can click on the map pin and it will zoom into that place and bring up a box. This box gives great information and also acts as a navigation tool. Under this first tab, Info, you can see information about the place. Here it states that Linton is an ancient parish and a market town in the county of Cambridgeshire. The table underneath that information tells you the parish register started in 1559 and the bishop's transcript started in 1599. These years will differ, of course, depending on the place. The final piece of information on the info box lists denominations other than the Church of England that have had a presence in that town. The next tab, entitled Jurisdictions, we'll come back to in a minute. Options is the tab I use the most. This gives you actions that can give perspective and usability to your search. The first option is List Contiguous Parishes. Although you can see the contiguous parishes on the map, clicking on this will list the parishes for you under a tab called List that appears next to the Layers tab on the left. Hovering over those parishes will show it with a map pin on the map. Clicking on one of them will take you to that parish. The radius place search is the feature I use the most. You can choose from 1/4 of a mile to 20 miles incrementally. An example of how I would use this is if I suspect a marriage I have found in another parish to possibly be my ancestor from Linton, I would see if the parish where the marriage took place is close enough to be a viable option. I usually start the radius search with 3 miles. Note that the radius place search shows us the parishes as a list on the left, starting with the closest distance to Linton. If you prefer, especially if you are looking for a specific parish, you can see the list alphabetically by using the drop-down menu. In this case, the marriage took place in Ashton, which is 3.6 miles from Linton. Note that Ashton is also in a different county, as shown by the change in colour. Linton is right on the edge of Cambridgeshire, and Ashton is just over the border in Essex. Again, hovering over the name will show the map pin, and clicking on the map pin will take you to that parish. Search the Family History Library catalogue is the next option. Clicking on this link will take you directly to the Family Search Library catalogue and show you the holdings for Linton. Search the Family History Historical Records will take you to the record search for the parish of Linton. You could put in a name and search for that person, and the search will be specific to Linton. Search the Family Search Research Wiki will take you to the Family Search Wiki, where there will be more information on the parish. Be sure not to discount the wealth of resources you can find there. Let's go back now to the jurisdictions, which is the powerful focus feature of this map. Jurisdictions identifies civil, religious, and ancient jurisdictions or divisions for that parish. By clicking on any of those jurisdictions that are a link, that is, those that are in blue, the map will be outlined to show that jurisdiction for whatever parish you are viewing. The jurisdictions can be accessed in 3 ways. The first way is from the box we are already on. If I click on the county of Cambridgeshire, it will show the highlighted county of Cambridgeshire on the map and also give the similar options as we saw previously. We can generate a list of all the parishes in Cambridgeshire or see the contiguous parishes. The Civil Registration District will show the boundaries for the administrative division that was created in 1837 for the reporting of births, deaths, and marriages. In the case of Linton, the registration district is also Linton. Although it stretches far beyond the boundaries of the town and even crosses county boundaries, which is not unusual for registration districts. Note that the registration district is outlined in red. You can see surrounding registration districts also outlined in red. Again, the options box will appear and will compile a list of parishes in that registration district, as well as a list of contiguous registration districts. The diocese is a large ecclesiastical division of the Church of England, presided over by a bishop. Ecclesiastical courts were administered by the diocese, so this division is important to know when you are searching for wills or other court records. As you can see, the diocese for Linton is Ely, outlined in purple. If at any time you want to remove the action box, just click the X in the top right-hand corner and it will disappear. The deanery for Linton is Camps, most likely named after the parishes of Shudi Camps and Castle Camps, which are close by. The rural deanery, which is highlighted here for Linton in purple, has a green boundary line. The rural deaneries are ecclesiastical divisions which include several parishes and are overseen by a dean who reports to the bishop, in this case the Bishop of Ely. The Poor Law Amendment Act of 1834 was established to take care of the poor and needy, a responsibility which up until then had been taken care of by the Church of England parishes. The Poor Law Union boundaries are marked in a dark red, and often use the same boundaries as the civil registration boundaries. Maybe you have found a relative on a census who is living in the Union Workhouse or who appears in poor law records. The poor law union boundaries show which parishes would be covered and where you could look for possible relatives. The 100 division, designated by blue boundaries, is a geographic division formerly used in England and other countries, which historically was used to divide a larger region into smaller administrative divisions that would sustain 100 households. In England, the 100 was a subdivision of most shires dating back to before the conquest until district councils were established by local governments in 1894. The province is the ecclesiastical area of jurisdiction of an archbishop. There are two provinces in England, Canterbury and York. The two provinces consist of 42 dioceses, 12 in the province of York and 30 in the province of Canterbury. The Archbishop of Canterbury holds primary jurisdiction for England. Another way to access the various jurisdictions is the box directly above the map. You can quickly access all the jurisdictions this way. Select the jurisdiction, then click within the boundaries of a certain jurisdiction, and that portion will be highlighted in purple. One jurisdiction available here that was not shown in the box is called division. This shows divisions of a few counties that are different from other jurisdictions. An example of this is the East Riding of Yorkshire, shown here. There is another way to advance through the jurisdictions, and that is from the tab that says Layers over on the left. There is a difference here, however. By choosing the jurisdictions from the Layers tab, you have the ability to choose more than one jurisdiction at a time. As mentioned earlier, parish and county are the default jurisdictions, but you could choose any of the divisions and visually compare them with the others. Here, I have selected 3 jurisdictions to compare. Sometimes you have to zoom in and out to get them to show. The zoom in and out button are over on the bottom right corner. Here very quickly I will show you what is available for those of you who have an interest in Wales. I put in Carmarthen. You can search for a parish or county, and although the box will appear, you will see there is no information available or jurisdiction links. However, the actions in options will work, so you can find contiguous parishes and you can do a radius search and access information at family search. Some other important things to know are that to go back to the default for the map, you can hit Reset Map over here on the top right. Resetting the map and then zooming into the map, you will see Google Map identification for businesses, points of interest, etc. If you click on Satellite, you will get a satellite view of the area. Zoom in further, and for example, you can see King's College Chapel, which is the iconic and most recognizable building in Cambridge. If you forget all this information, you can get a refresher by watching this again, or by going to Search over on the left and clicking Here. This has a help article, shows the works referenced, and provides a glossary of many of the terms. I hope this presentation will encourage you to take advantage of this great resource for genealogy research in England. Good luck, and thanks for watching.